Alright. We're back for day 2 of Endwalker. After waiting about an hour and a half in queue. It was brutal. Alright. I am well rested and ready to get this going. This a Reaper? 84 Reaper. Man. I'm killing it. Alright. Julius. As per Lord Quintus' instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tritium. Before you ask, no. I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I will be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything outward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shot callers will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation, and above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wherever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or the interest, Alphanod and Alizé will pay the price. Alright. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you don't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. Okay. So cold. This young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. It's you, Shinobu Nightshade. I served under Lord Gaius of the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the petroleum fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them, my comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Oh, Gaius is fine. He's actually my friend now. Stuck with him first. I know who you are. The so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear, I'll... Damn. Tore the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the Illard bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Illard. What for the Illard? Moving on. Vergilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell, and we gathered around the radio. Then roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact, but body broken, a soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could, murderer. Fair enough. This radio is the same model that was used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Yeah. Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Yeah. Okay. Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. Rough. So cold, and probably hasn't had a proper meal in days. If only we'd brought some food with us, perhaps I could use a little magic to... No, I mustn't. Gods, this is so frustrating. Indeed. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Julius first. Okay. Well, seen enough? Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept. Some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, Going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees, or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye. Everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I assume. Okay. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or, in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Teleferori. Then, he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the Provenical legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Teleferori. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. Accept it, man. I'm just trying to help. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, my hands make light work. Sigh. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. Once we're outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. We will begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanasium. The first location is Forum Soleus, a park to the northwest of this station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Yeah. Can mount up. This place has seen better days, huh? So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Zosgalvius. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. You're right. A cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Julius said. The contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. But on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. You don't say. Yeah. I'm gonna go down this way. Oh, I can't slide? Fine. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play as shopkeeper. There is nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other device that would be fueled by ceruleum. Okay. There we go. And an aether current. Awesome. Map of Forum Soleus. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Forum Soleus. The pond, children's play areas. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum. Lord. Oops. Wrong space. Oh, it's you. Any luck? There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes. I mean, no, It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done, every time. And every time, when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. Yes, there's ceruleum in there. Obviously. With the ceruleum-powered heater by chance? I supposed it must have been, come to think of it. I remember seeing engineers changing a tank beneath the hatch. But it was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this blackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Chulis, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of their skin if they saw it. But the first has a few foreign Sigiferi and Medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Alphanod, as you have the knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, the blast of her fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. For fire. I got fire 4. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. The tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake, like how the tapers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park. And we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So, fancy a dip? A little friendly competition might make things interesting. The last thing we need is you catching a cold. Step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way, we'll find it in no time. Yeah, that's it. Last one to find a ceruleum tank is a rotten egg, though I dare say we'll both smell like rotten eggs when this is all over. You delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. It's okay, I'm not wearing that much clothing. You delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. To add... yeah, same thing. Same thing. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. You open the hatch and receive a ceruleum tank. It's apparently invisible. Oh. However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost, as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and the rancid odor emanating from every limb of your body. Julius will doubtlessly feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver him your prize. Did you find anything? Sniff, sniff. I hope you did. There you go. That's it. And there's still some ceruleum left. Ah, the fire is still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphinaud a hand. Call me an Ul'dan, because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all is well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did. Not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire awarded an estate. Well, we lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during our coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summer came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, the ice would melt, and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings, we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble, those friends are dead, and those memories... But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had, soon, our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Damn. We gotta help these guys. Alright. Now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Let's go. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. Wish me luck. We will gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the Machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading, even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Alright. Understood. Let's get to work. According to the ceruleum gauge, the unit's fuel tank is empty. The ceruleum gauge on this unit appears to have been broken, giving you no way to determine how much fuel its tank may hold. Alright, let's use it. Just because. After successfully removing the War Machina's outer casting and receiving the ceruleum tank, you find it to be completely empty. Okay. The ceruleum gauge on this unit appears to have been broken, giving you no way to determine how much fuel its tank may hold. Hold on. Ceruleum gauge on this unit appears to have been broken. According to the ceruleum gauge, the unit's fuel tank is empty. Alright, let's just do it on this one. Why not? You retrieve the War Machina's ceruleum tank to find it is still half full, or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Julius will surely be pleased by your discovery. Yeah. Let's bring it. More explosives? Wait, is that what I think it is? It is. You've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go and see how Alize and Alphanot are faring.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
Ink Pearl?
Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you had been led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything.
It needs ceruleum.
The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Alrighty.
With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
I want to help him.
They had not gone far.
No kidding, I was staring at you.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile.
Savages.
It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
What?
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
Yeah.
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
Yeah. Good.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question.
Okay, you got kids down here. You need heat first. God.
Will they ever escape this cult? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Euless spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
He doesn't like it.
Alphino and Alize are to stay here, as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil.
That's how you want to play this, huh? We already told you we'd give you the goddamn supplies, dude.
Until our terms are met, They will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
I trust you, Thancred. Do as he says. Just trust me.
Get them out of here.
I'm getting angry. God. Alphanod and Alizé will be fine, providing they do not resist. You will accompany me back to your camp, where I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. The task falls to Legionarius, Macalinius, and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the Isle for further details. In those words. Once you have seen that, meet me by the exit. Alright. You again. Ask the Isle, he said. So, that's to be the way of it. After all this. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. What do you want with me? Ask the Isle. So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand. That he would recognize the savage is a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him, we must too be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Have you done as instructed? Their duties involve more than transportation of supplies, don't they? What do you mean by ask the Isle? Yeah. Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter. A place I'd like to visit on my way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. This city is just... It's sad. I got a road though. I feel like changing my mount. Oh, good lord. Julius lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Oh, wait.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised.
I'm guessing that didn't work out.
Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us?
No.
I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
No use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
so cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people. One race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you.
Yeah.
And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos. Searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too.
I really think he does realize it. It goes back to that spell that prevents him from being able to divulge anything.
Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand. To refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess What I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alize.
That was cute. Estinian! It's done.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed.
Indeed it has.
I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
Come on, Julius.
Stop, both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th decision.
Good.
Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Oh, shit, what's he done? Oh dear God.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
I didn't really like him, but
If there is
this
still a
isn't how it
chance
should
that
end.
Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Yeah. Shit. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Damn. Gonna take a short break. I will be back in just a couple minutes. Alright, now I'm back. The bunny boy. Yeah. Before we proceed, tell me, what do you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces? They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be willing or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphinaud, Alize, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I will also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Okay. What's this for? Pursuit of power. Yeah. For now, I'm just really focusing on the main story. We'll go come back and get all of our quests that we need to later. Got another one. Not even looking for him. That's 6 Aether Currents and Garlemald. Now check that out. Cool. God damn it. I don't have time for your bullshit. So, I'm just thinking of this now. Why were we not trying to get Ceruleum from the Magitech that is clearly working and running around here? Hold on. I tried. I tried. Shinobu and Julius. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then he was alone. No, he wouldn't. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course, shall the Latius be afforded a proper burial. Legatus. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to communicate the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned. We just want to live. We'll need to speak to the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. It's quite amazing how Square can make you feel for your enemies. I know they're not the first game to do it at all, but damn. I gotta tell you what, I was ready to put him 6 feet under myself. But just the way it all plays out, they really know how to get to you. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me with you, please. Got it. Well, got the Aetherite sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments. Now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packed up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Nice. Oh, and let's not forget this while we're here then. Boom, boom, boom. Finally. In the world barding is this? I've never seen that. It's definitely Shadowbringers, so... Stoke. Yeah, I don't pay attention to Chocobo bardings too much. Speaking of which... I just rocked the Deep Shadow for Vortex here. Rianje. Ah, it's you. The one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning. Until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate. And I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. Well, this is turning out better than I thought. I haven't come across a single person that's not gonna come with us. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempereds sulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of Lominsian friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I'll make a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Any way for me to get around here? I guess there's another mountain there, so maybe I don't. Or no, I do want to. Okay. We're gonna have to go up. It's hard to even see the Garleans as bad guys. The same with the Ascians. Like, I feel like that's what makes this story so great. You can understand both sides. It's not a one-sided thing. Oh, what do you have? Aether currents. Oh my goodness. Okay. I bet that's what some of these are. I'm writing down where to get all the aether currents. So I'm not gonna do this mission just yet. Okay. Had to make some notes on that quest. We will return to it. Oh, let's talk to the Chocobo Keep over here too. Get registered. How to... Yeah, all the Chocobo Keeps say the same damn thing, so I'm never gonna read that. Oh yeah, people here saying botany is the best class. I prefer minor. For going gatherers. And actually, for going gatherers, I prefer fishing. But the materials for mining are way more helpful for me, since I'm a crafter. But between mining and botany, I go minor. Between crafting and gathering, I go crafting. Crafting is way more fun than gathering. You hit me? Oh, wait, I gotta try this. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, that's dope looking. That was cool. I remember that my triple cast is stacked, so I could just use it whenever the hell. That is super cool. I really wish ley lines would stack though. I really have a problem with trying to save it for situations, and I really shouldn't. I gotta get over that. We're just gonna do it like this. Why not? Oh. Allow me to assist. Not going for that yet. You see no threats on the path ahead. Yeah. These like mutated Marlboros are so cool looking. Oh, go ahead, hit me. I just want a good shot of you. What the hell? Oh. Duh. Why can't I attack? Oh dear. Fine. I'm also going to have to reevaluate my hotbar here soon. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The Tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind appraising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays. But I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. And I'm not the only one freezing out here. I'm just gonna say Heidelin's blessing keeps me warm. Right. Shinobu, I was informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. Everyone I talked to is down. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees. Preferably notwithstanding, after all, even if I wanted to make an example out of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell tales of our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus, and that following his suicide, they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Taper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much-needed warmth. Furthermore, we're prepared to we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tritium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. I would hope so. On your way, might I ask you to seek out Y'shtola. She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she does. Of course. Y'shtola's my girl. I'll take her place if need be. Y'shtola. Yes, yes. I have been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water. But what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. Maybe. So do you, more than any of us, Y'shtola. What are you talking about? We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I have already quite enough to deal with, between being tempered and the first wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experience have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver. But, nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing invite disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Okay, we'll hold off on that for just a minute. I gotta go. I'm guessing these are all Aether Currents. I'm just gonna run around and add these ones now as well. Yeah. And there's another one out here too, isn't there? Yep. Yes, that's another one over there. Alright. Yeah. Sure. Gonna take a short break. Alright, we're back. Time to get into this lengthy cutscene. We already read all this. Well, seems like everyone's getting along.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Minson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
Oh, shut up.
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way!
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
Good lord.
I did a damn sight more than you, you lily-livered bilge rat!
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here.
Oh, lord.
At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rift between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent, we owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
As do I.
I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
My flower.
of the Gallian, I thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varys?
Shit.
They are being tempered. The talismans! Quickly!
Shit.
Save me!
me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Woohoo! Alright, Xenos. Let's do this.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken.
To a meal, huh?
Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh. So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo. His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Give me back my body. This is such a pain in the arse. Just give me back my body.
And permit you to go on a righteous rampage instead of partaking in this delicious meal? I think not. I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
Varys?
Ah, exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course.
Is it primal?
As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Osgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation.
Anima.
Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varys himself.
Varys is Anima.
And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their Anima.
Oh, I'm so excited for this fight.
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you?
I'm excited to fight.
Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery.
The feeling you've got more tricks up your sleeve this time.
Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star.
And?
The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone. At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger. And it would seem my friend has lost her appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
Fight you like this?
Or together.
What are you doing? Oh dear God, he's taking my body.
dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity.
Well, this is not good.
Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
We will see. Oh, good lord, fine. Oh, for love's God.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows.
Yeah.
Scurrying about like a rodent.
Shut the fuck up. The Tempered Imperial has breathed his last. Inspect him. The unfortunate soldier was carrying a medical kit. You may use medical kits to restore depleted HP, while you can only carry a limited number. More can be found by inspecting fallen soldiers or wrecked Magitech. And pray. You offer a silent prayer for the deceased. Were you in possession of your own body, you might have the capacity to subdue rather than slay this tempered soldier. In this battle, you are unable to use the full extent of your powers. To reach Camp Broken Glass quickly, you should avoid combat whenever possible. If you are discovered, your foes will give chase. The Magitech units are especially powerful, and your chances of defeating them in your current state are slim at best. I can't run. Oh, get off it. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, what in the world? Okay, how do I get out of here? Come on. Get out of my way. Magitech Reaper's leg has been damaged, but the weaponry should still function. You may be able to clear a path if you can find the identification key and fuel. Oh lord. You've not been turned? Thank goodness. I thought I was the only one left. Ugh. The bastards got my hand while they took down my Magitech Reaper. If you can repair its leg, though, it should still work. Here, take this key. If it's run out of ceruleum, you might be able to find more in the wreckage. Okay. So now we do have to backtrack. Fuck. Alright. Dang it. Let's see it. Alrighty. Oh, get off it, dude. Oh dear God, there's two of them. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I gotcha. Alrighty. Yada yada yada. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm out of health. No more medkits. Dang. Oh God. I just saw that at the last second. Oh my God. Unable to escape the blast, you begin to lose consciousness. Oh. Come on. You crawl to safety and regain consciousness. Oh, goodness. And I am literally crawling. Okay. Oh, I'm really supposed to crawl all the way back there. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, this is insane. You can't really expect me to crawl all the way.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Eulus? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw her leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well she can handle herself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Devil, yes.
Well, time to call off the search.
Case closed.
Not quite.
That's her, over there.
Still, I can see. 1 second.
Oh no! You've got something in your hair.
That's her over there?
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive her presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But...
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now, all's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Who are you?
Good job, Graha. Yeah! Look at me go. Enough, Xenos.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I've yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay. Predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether. And then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days.
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. She's awake.
Is everyone alright? So I'm not dead yet. Is everyone alright?
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Let's do it. Looks like this is the end of the mission. You're certain you're well? Nothing out of place? No missing bits? Good. Though I won't promise the same for Fandaniel and Xenos, after I'm through with them, how much must these people suffer before they're satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? Prelude to the final days or no, this ends now. Alright. I'm gonna end this here for now. I'll definitely stream again later today. I'm not sure how long. Might be later tonight though. But for now, this is it. So until next time, take care.